Do to me. Well, while we're here. Hello, welcome to A Visit with Nana and Papa. I'm Nana.
I'm Papa.
And this is episode 15, July 8th. Happy birthday to my sister Lynette. She will turn a year older than me.
Well,
tomorrow.
Didn't Paige just have a birthday?
Yeah,
on the
Paige
4th?
just was on the 4th.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Paige. I don't think we said it last week, but happy birthday, sweetheart.
All right. Let's see. We had a winner. Thank you all for the comments. That was awesome. We did random. Okay, well, we asked the device that shall not be named to.
You don't say it real loud. She's in the other room. This one's computer.
Yeah. Anyway, now it's gonna start talking.
Holy shit! It's 100 degrees outside right now.
Yes, it is.
That's nasty.
For those that are not in the United States, it's 34 degrees Celsius at the moment, and rising. Yeah. All right. So, in the number picker or whatever, picked a winner. James, do you want to announce it?
Enid!
Congratulations, Enid. Please send us an email to a visit with Nana and Papa at gmail.com and let us know what pattern you want and what ID you have on Ravelry, if you have a Ravelry ID, and if not, just let us know how you want to handle it, and we'll make it happen.
Now, speaking of Enid and I happen to have had a conversation about tea and other things, and in the process of that conversation, I had suggested that we have tea together, even though Enid is in the UK. So, to facilitate us having a cup of tea and just visiting, what I talked to my beautiful about is we would just do a Zoom, and then everybody that wanted to get together and say hi, bye, wah, 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 whatever, you could just, and we would get together and we would visit, and you could truly have a visit with Nana and Papa. So she said next Saturday at 1 o'clock.
Correct.
Central Time. That's 1 o'clock our time.
1 o'clock Eastern.
No, you said it was 12 o'clock Eastern. To get your facts straight, when you changed your mind.
I did not. It cannot be 12 o'clock Eastern and 1 o'clock Central. That does not equate. 1 o'clock Eastern, 12 o'clock Central. We are 1 hour.
Whatever. We are doing it at 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock Eastern.
Our time. No.
Fine. We will do it at 2
Are we doing it at noon?
Yes, that's
okay, then fine. We're doing it, 8 o'clock, 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock for Enid. Enid, next Saturday, 6 o'clock. Would you like to have a cup of tea with me?
Yes, 6 o'clock British Standard Time, 1 o'clock Eastern, 12 o'clock U.S. Central. For those in Pacific, that would be 10 a.m. Pacific. I'm sorry, I'm not going to do all the countries in the world.
But y'all invited. It don't matter where you're at.
Yeah, we don't
come and have a cup of tea, cup of coffee, cup of hoo-hoo-hoo.
I will be knitting, but you do not have to knit to come and visit and chat with us.
Because I won't be knitting.
He will not be knitting. And
I'll be talking. I'll be talking to whoever's online going, hi, Jim. I'll be, hey.
Yeah, he would like to get to know some of you, too.
Now, you want to do some yarny shit?
Sure, we'll talk about what I'm wearing, and I'll make it quick.
Let's do mine quicker. What I'm wearing a merino wool t-shirt. They're awesome. Buy one. Okay, back to you.
This is not merino, but this is British
Mine's softer.
And this sweater is called the Hush sweater by Tinkai Knits. I think it's beautiful.
I think it's beautiful.
I loved knitting it. I don't think it's appropriate wear for 100-degree weather. So when this is over, it will be coming off, and something else will be going on because it is way too warm. But we do have air conditioning, and I do have a fan going above us, so there's
some relief.
Yeah.
And see, she's not at her computer desk, So it really doesn't matter what the outside temperature is because she's in the most comfortable room in the house. The bathroom is the coldest room in the house. And that's because it's a little small bathroom and it's got its own dedicated vent and it's right where the air conditioning unit is.
Yeah.
So.
And even though we have that vent as closed down, and we have the vent to the bedroom
wide open.
Partially closed. Not.
No, that bad boy is wide open.
Oh, well. So in the living room where my office is, where my desk is for work, it's right by the door, which gets the warmest. So it's the warmest place. So he says it's the most comfortable. I would not necessarily call it the most comfortable. It is just not the coldest spot in the apartment.
But she's also got a dedicated air vent right above her, so her feet get cold. No, it's right there.
But it does. But my feet do get cold, really cold. But anyhow,
the rest of her is hot, but her feet are cold. I think we should put the computers on the floor.
No, because it works. The good part about it is that my feet, I get to wear wool socks almost every day because I have to. For me.
That's a get to.
Yeah.
Okie doke.
I think they're comfortable and they feel good. Anyhow.
Onward.
So.
Did you already tell them all your goodies?
No.
Getting busy.
You keep interrupting and changing the topic, babe. Love you.
I'm just sitting here doing nothing.
This is a hush sweater, tin can knits. I knit it in woolly knit British 4-ply, held double with Hobie mohair. Their yarn is called Diablo. It is not mohair silk. It's not itchy, scratchy, but it's not as soft, I don't think. And the combination together, I think going forward, probably will have a shirt underneath it. It's not driving me crazy, but I think to wear it all day long, I would be more comfortable with a shirt underneath it.
I guarantee if you were not sitting in the 75-degree air conditioning and you were standing on
if I was
100
out there,
degree
I would
patio,
be dying.
you'd be going,
because
another shirt.
I would be dying just because this is so warm. If I turn that fan off and the air conditioner's not blowing in this apartment, it is too warm.
It does enhance your beauty, though.
Thank you.
It not make you beautiful, but it doesn't hurt. You're already beautiful. Okay.
So,
that's enough about what you're wearing.
No, that's it for that.
Okay.
I have a new cast on. But we already talked about it last time.
Uh-huh. My wife, the fly fisher.
We had this. We had asked for their help.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, quite a few people picked this one, but a lot of people picked other ones too. But this is the Vibes by Tif Neilan, and I did cast it on. I think that the colors make it almost remind me of a lilac bush, and I love lilac bushes and lilacs in general. So it's making me happy. I also love irises, the ones that are the purple iris. Oh, so good. My favorite flowers. Well, not my absolute. My absolute favorite flower is wisteria, but not because of what the wisteria looks like, although it's beautiful, but how it smells. Driving through East Texas on Highway 80 when the wisteria is in bloom, it smells so good. Anyway.
Lilacs remind me of my best friend Marty Hall. My mom and his mom both loved lilacs and had lilac bushes. So Marty is still partial to lilacs. He lost his mother. Mine's still alive. But Marty Hall, Casper, Wyoming. Good to think about you, old buddy. We were the best of friends when we were kids. We did it. You know, back when we were kids, our parents would let us ride bikes and do all kinds of jump bikes and do all kinds of crazy shit. And that was just A-okay. And they never went to jail for bad parenting or child endangerment. And now if you let your child think for themselves, you can get in trouble. Who knew that our parents were so reckless?
I know. It's so different.
It's just amazing that we're not dead, isn't it?
So, I was gonna tell him on here, but we recorded it earlier, so he knows.
I already know. I'm still just as pleased about it now as I was then.
So, I have already reached out to the designer for my test knit, but I will not be completing it. And I will not be completing the make along for the crochet along for End AIDS Cal 2023 for Pride, because the crocheting and the knitting with the small needles is really hurting my hands, and so much so that even knitting with regular needles or whatever is uncomfortable if I do it for too long, and I just can't. So both of those projects will get frogged. I am not pulling them out and ripping them out on air or even this week. The disappointment in not being able to make them is just too much, and I don't know. Maybe I can find a time when my hands are better and I'll be able to finish the white one, because it is so beautiful. And I have most of the sweater made. There's just 4 inches of knitting left on the entire sweater, and then it's done. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
I know you'll work a little bit at a time, even if it hurts your hands. You'll still do a little bit at a time.
Not right now, because my hands are bad. They're not a little bad, they're a lot bad. So
that's because your hands...
Right now it's not.
You quit crocheting in the first place because it hurt your hands. You picked up crocheting and said, oh, this doesn't hurt my hands, and then you did too much crocheting and now it hurts your hands. Moderation. Concept.
Yeah, but I don't know that there's a moderation. I will have to crochet for my job currently, a little at a time here and there. So that's the only crochet that's going to be hitting these hands. And I'm not going to be knitting anything on anything smaller than a 3 going forward, because the smaller the needles and the super big needles both hurt my hands, and so it's just not. Until my hands are normal, it's not going to happen.
Now, what I'm drinking, since y'all see me drinking, masala chai without the milk makes an excellent iced tea. So, if you have not tried it, try it. If you want the milk, go ahead. Just realize that if you forget your iced tea for a little while and you put milk in it, you can have a rather unpleasant experience later. If you don't put milk in it, you'll be just fine. You just have room temperature tea. Not great, but, there's worse things in life.
Okay, so should we talk about spinning and just knock it out, and then we'll talk about your stuff? So, it's Tour de Fleece, and thanks to a whole bunch of people. Tazi, if you don't know Tazi, I'll put her link below. Skeins of Dreams, Leslie from Not Quite Enough Distance, Barbara from Flame and Fiber.
Thought it was Not Quite Enough Yarn.
Oh, sorry, Not Quite Enough Yarn. She has a Not Quite Enough Distance. Well, it used to be Not Quite Enough Distance. It's not anymore. But anyway, now it changes weekly. But, anyway, all these people been talking about spinning, and I have a spinning wheel. I just haven't had it out for a long time. And, and also my favorite podcast that talks about spinning, bar none, is Gamma B Makes. Love her podcast. I can go and watch one of her older videos when I'm having a bad day, or I'm feeling depressed, or I'm feeling some thoughts that I don't like in my head, or have a bad dream, and instantly that woman can pull me out of badness. She just has an energy about her that brings great joy. Anyway, so I started spinning, and I did the first bobbin. I'm not going to show you because it was literally just I hadn't spun in years. So I needed some practice, and it turned out well. Plus, I had pulled my wheel out, would you say, a year ago, maybe?
Yeah.
And I spun for maybe 10 minutes. And then I worked on it again a couple months later and spun for another 10 minutes. And then pulled it out again and spun maybe for 5 minutes. And then it just sat there. So then on the first, I think it was the first, because of Tour de Fleece, I spun for 20 minutes that day. And then the next day, I spun for 20 minutes. And then I realized, hey, my yarn is somewhat consistent. I'm going to go ahead and stop this because I literally was using old scraps of this fiber and that fiber. And so I stopped working on that one. I wound it off, and then I pulled out this braid that I got from I Am Fully Spun, and I spun this bobbin. I'll hold that.
I thought that was your second bobbin.
Nope, this is the first one, because this one has really short repeats. And then I this is half of the braid, took the other half and did really long repeats, and I'm going to apply these two together. That's called a fractal spin. It's one of my favorite things to do because I love how it ends up painting a new picture altogether. It's just a lot of fun. So these are resting. I finished them today. This one today, so they're gonna rest. And
I'm gonna rest pretty soon.
And then tomorrow I will apply them together. I have a Louet S17. Not that anyone cares, but my standard flyer for the S17, and I have 3 bobbins, so that I can do, 2 bobbins and then ply on the third. However, I did purchase a larger flyer and bobbin, so this allows me to spin more yarn, and so I prefer to use this bobbin for plying. So I am going to go ahead and start my next spin on this bobbin while those 2 rest, and then tomorrow I'll use this bobbin, ply those off, and then this I'm going to let it rest just for a little bit, and then I will pull it off and wash it and full it. I still have fiber or braids that are from my own business that's long since closed, and so I don't know which braid, but I'm pretty certain that it will not be the blue because I have enough of the different shades of blue that I could spin them into a sweater, and I would prefer to wait until my spinning is really consistent or much more consistent than it is now, so that it will be a consistent yarn throughout the whole sweater. So that's the plan, Stan. And I am spinning more than I'm knitting at the moment because the spinning doesn't hurt. So not getting as much knitting done as I want to.
Something just occurred to me while you were doing your explanation. My friend Marty, his whole name is Marty Ray Hall, and it just occurred to me, you only know the middle name of your best friends. That's because you got in trouble with them and their parents. Marty Ray Hall, James Leroy Fisher, and then your friends all say, oh, your middle name's Leroy? Leroy's about to get his ass whooped. Yeah.
But it's not your best friends. It's your childhood friends. Not your adult best friends.
That's because your adult best friends never watched your mama whale you.
I'm just saying.
Or got whaled by your mama while she was whaling you, because I know you were part of this.
Yes. But you just said that only your best friends.
Yes, okay.
And one has to have a friend in their childhood for that statement to be true.
Okay, fine.
And for someone who grew up with literally no friends, I never had a birthday party because there was no one that would come to a birthday party for me.
I will come. You beautiful.
I'm just saying.
I understand.
So, anyway.
That just
moving
occurred
on.
to me.
So, I do want to go over one more thing quickly. I don't know if Mega from Skins and Dreams will watch this, although I am going to send her the link just in case. Mega, I adore you. And your mama, she's so adorable. Anyway, these are Nitty Naughties that Jim and I made a long time ago. They're made out of PVC pipe. And so you twist it to be at a 90 degrees, so one's going straight on you and the other one's parallel. And then when you're done taking the yarn off of the wheel, then one's perpendicular, one's parallel. Thank you. This one is parallel and this one is perpendicular. Right? Anyway, and then when you're done taking it off the wheel, you twist them so they're the same, and it easily the yarn comes off on the side that doesn't have the little knob on it. Anyway, these are significantly cheaper than spending a lot of money on a wooden one or some fancy ones that are out there. And so anyway, just wanted to throw that out there as she was saying that she didn't have a Nitty Naughty yet. So that's what I've mostly been doing is spinning. I want to talk about, I forgot to tell you, the Vibes Tee dystopic fiber is the dark purple and the super light purple. The middle one is long dog yarn and the green is stranded dye works. The links will be down below. I don't think Stranded has this color in the shop at the moment, but the color is Thrive. And the two purples from Dystopic, I don't see it in, but you can always reach out to them and say, hey. I did get these two colors from the Wolf Patch, which is a shop in the UK. Hi, Stuart. And the long dog yarn, I don't know that she has this color or even this yarn because it's the her slub yarn in stock anymore.
Speaking of Stuarts, it's not the same Stuart, it's a different Stuart. Stuart that comes to Valerie's Tuesday and Thursday Zooms. Mm-hmm. But Stuart's a new friend of mine, and he friended me on Instagram. And I went and I checked out his pictures, and Stuart is a hellacious knitter. You should see all the stuff that he has made. He's made some really, really cool stuff. So kudos to you, Stuart. Awesome knitting, my friend. See, I actually had some knitting shit too. So there.
You could have lots, but okay.
I'm not going to have lots because then you're going to say, why don't you take up knitting? Why don't I take up throwing lawn darts up in the air? Yeah. No. I'd probably do the lawn darts. I think I did that as a child. Just throw them straight up and see where they land. And duck.
Anyway, that's scary.
Hey, we used to have wars with lawn darts.
Okay, so you went to the movies and you saw...
I only went to one movie. I planned on going to 3, but health did not let me make it to 3, so I made it to 1. The one movie I did manage to go see, Rotten Tomatoes gave it 68, I think, something like that. Somebody else gave it 6.8 out of 10. I guess that's a fair assessment because it's somewhere between a 3 and a 4-star. It's not a terrible movie. It's a romantic comedy. It's all right. I laughed. I didn't laugh as much as I thought I was going to laugh because I had high hopes for it being funny, and it's not as funny as I had thought. But it is a romantic comedy. It's a R-rated romantic comedy because there is nudity and profanity and a tad bit of violence. So if none of those things appeal to you, you won't like this movie. If you hate Jennifer Lawrence, you'll like the part where she gets punched in the throat. If you don't hate Jennifer Lawrence, you might not like that as much. So she does not like that at all. She doesn't. She's not going to see this movie. I didn't think she'd like it anyway. It's not really her jam. Speaking of jam, she made some awesome biscuits for breakfast. She also made some awesome biscuits the other day. But the biscuits this morning were for breakfast. And these are American biscuits. You know, like they're like UK scones, only not dry. They're not like the UK's biscuits because the UK's biscuits are America's cookies. And we did not have cookies for breakfast, although that has been known to happen. Anyway, what I saw was, what was the name of that? No Hard Feelings. No Hard Feelings with Jennifer Lawrence and other people. Oh, it had Matthew Broderick in it. I was surprised. Yep, it had the kid from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
That his buddy?
No, it had Ferris Bueller. Ferris Bueller was in this movie, only he's old and fat like me, and it made me feel so much better just looking at Ferris Bueller.
So Matthew Broderick was in it, not Ferris Bueller. The actor that played Ferris Bueller.
Right. Is Matthew Broderick, and yes. Matthew Broderick was in this movie, No Hard Feelings. He is the dad of the kid that they're trying to get to come out of his shell. So, all in all, it had good parts. It had funny parts. It has some naked parts. I'm not going to say I'd recommend it for everyone, but if you don't mind nudity, profanity, and violence, and you have a fairly liberal sense of humor, you'll like this movie. If none of that applies to you, you're just not going to like this movie. Don't go. And if you ever get a chance to have one of her biscuits, take one. They're good biscuits.
My rolls are better.
Oh, she makes awesome, good cinnamon roll.
Anyway.
Hasn't made one of them in freaking Coon's age. And we're in Texas. Coons live a long time.
Yep.
Unless they get run over by cars. You should see the size of their freaking raccoons down here. They are well fed. They are like, I don't know, probably 30, 40 pounds. You send them out, you send a cat and a raccoon out, I will put the money on the raccoon. Because the raccoon is probably twice the size of the cat, and it's used to having to fight for its life, so it kicked that cat's ass. Guaranteed. What you doing?
Getting my fiber ready to spin it.
Huh?
Well, why not?
Why not? But okay, that's it for the movies. That was the only movie I went to. There's plenty of new movies out. A lot of movies that have my interest. It's just the timing. And I planned on going to 2 movies on Thursday, and it just it didn't work out so good for me on Thursday. So anyway, books. You want to talk about more yarny crap? Or you want to go to?
No, I just want to talk about the one last topic, but you can talk about.
No, you go ahead. Jump on your topic. What's your topic?
That one.
Perfectionism.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. Oh.
So I grew up in a home that, like when you went to school and you had outstanding, satisfactory,
needs improvement,
and
unsatisfactory.
So that were the grades that you got in elementary school.
At your elementary school.
Well, yeah, at my elementary school. And when we would come home, I think I got an unsatisfactory once, and it was in my penmanship. But, and that didn't go over well. In fact,
that got you the opportunity to be a scribe and handwrite the Encyclopedia Britannica.
Yes.
Because, printing presses don't always work.
I think.
But nothing like having a little kid write a encyclopedia for you.
So as a kid, anything less than perfection was not acceptable. And I'm not judging my parents in any way for that. I'm just saying that that's the household I grew up in. And because of that, when I wasn't perfect, I felt like I was bad. And so as an adult, if I couldn't do it perfect, I didn't do it. Or I didn't want to do it. Because I couldn't do it perfect, I didn't want to do it. And I heard Brene Brown in an interview, or at one time, she said that perfectionism is a trauma response. It's this thing that you were trained that if you're perfect, you won't have to face this badness, whatever the badness is. And so you tried to be perfect so you wouldn't have to deal with whatever that badness is. And maybe that's what it was for me. I don't know. But all I know is that as an adult, way into my adult, like when my kids were almost adults or already adults, I realized that I had a major issue with perfectionism, that it was a problem for me, and it was a source of my depression and my issues with mental health. And so I made a decision to not frog or rip out or tear out or undo mistakes in my crochet or my knitting. And so that's what I do today, and it really helps me fight that that message in my head that says that being perfect, if you're not perfect, you're not good enough. That leaving my mistakes in my projects helps with that. And so only reason I brought that up here is that somebody had been asking about it, actually 2 people, in direct messages and stuff, and so I thought I would clarify that that's the reason that does not mean that anyone else, you do you. If ripping things back is important to you, by all means do it. Just don't have that expectation for other people because you don't know where they're coming from. And that's it. That's all I had on that.
Speaking of conversations, if you send us comments, we generally always answer your comments. Come on, send us comments. I'm great for having them. Mimi was asking me about reading Pittacus lore. And Pittacus lore is actually not a person. It's a bunch of people. It started out one guy using Pittacus lore as a pen name. But he let other people do fan fiction. It's where the people who read the book say, it would be really cool if they did this. So they write a story about the characters in this person's arc, and it's up to the original author whether or not he lets that fly or not. So when he found people who wrote books about his characters that he liked, then he would bring that in and make it part of the canon. So there's a lot of different stories out there. They don't always jive together because they aren't all by the same author. But Pittacus lore, this Pittacus lore series, oh yeah, I've read all of them. They actually made a movie out of the first one. The first book in the series is I Am 4. And they made a movie of it, and they didn't do a really good job of making the movie. It didn't do well, and therefore they didn't make any of the other books to carry on the series, which happens a lot. If you can't make the first movie right, nobody's going to want to see a second movie. That's the problem with...
Nobody's going to want to pay to produce another movie if the first one didn't make money.
Well, they're going by the fact that the book was really popular. Well, if the book was really popular and you want your movie to do well, you probably ought to stick to the book. Taking the characters from the book and butchering the book is not going to get you a profit, because the people who read the book, the first ones to go see the movie, are going to come back and tell all their friends, man, I don't know what kind of drugs they were on when they made this movie, but they weren't tripping good. They got it all wrong. And then nobody else goes, because people talk. We're talking. If they wanted to I Am 4 movie to start off a franchise, They should have stuck to the series, stuck to the book, and
Anyway,
that's how you make a good movie. Anyway, but I was visiting with Mimi about Pittacus lore, and Mary Ann, very sweet person. We were talking about Doctor Who, and they are going on a Doctor Who quest. Very first Doctor Who through 50 years of Doctor Who to the current Doctor Who, which is, I believe, still Jodie Whittaker. I think this is her last season as a doctor, and they have a young man taking her place.
That's what I've heard.
If I remember what I've read.
I haven't been able to see the latest one because it's not available.
Well, they keep changing who you can watch Doctor Who on here in the States. If you're in the UK, it's always BBC. It's always. That's where you get your doctor at. In America, it could be Amazon. It could be Netflix. It could be
HBO.
HBO. You just don't know
Oxygen, baby.
who you're going to get your Doctor Who from. So we have not seen the most recent Doctor Who's, but we're both big Who fans, and I'm interested to see how your quest goes, Marianne, and I hope you enjoy it. And let us know where you get these Doctor Who episodes from. We would love to find out where they're all coming from, and we'd still like to see the rest of Jodie Whittaker's. But that's it for me, except for the Walmart Plus. You got anything else with my love?
Just quickly, podcast to recommend, because I want to always try. Piece for Piece. Michael, you know I love you. Skeins of Dreams. Oh my God, we will meet. It's gonna happen. And Not Quite Enough Yarn. That's Leslie. And Stranded Dye Works.
And Flamin' Fiber for Barbara.
And Fiber for Barbara. There's
What's
so many.
Aquila's?
Oh, and Karen from Recreational Knitting. I really like her. She's from Florida. And Aquila is a Lefty Knitter podcast.
And we never hear anything for Chevy. Chevy hasn't had new stuff in a while, has she? I haven't seen it.
No, but it's okay. She can do her podcast when she gets around to it. In the meantime, she's loved very much.
Yeah, it's always nice to hear from Chevy.
It is.
Chevy Real. You can, if she hasn't got anything new, you can catch up on all of her old
Chevy
stuff.
Or Chevy Rail stuff.
Now, this is not really a commercial. This is a public service announcement.
It's an ad.
It's not an ad.
Okay, wait. Let me just take 2 seconds. It's an ad for the reason which there will be a link down below. If you click the link, you get a discount, but we also get a discount on our next order if you use that link. So, because we can gain a discount on our next order if you use our link, I'm calling that an ad.
Okay, fine.
Go ahead.
For almost a year now, August will be a year, we have had Walmart Plus. You pay $98 for a year of Walmart Plus, and what you get is a lot. You get free access to Paramount Plus. You have to deal with the commercials, but if you were watching the TV, you would still get the commercials. So who cares? It's free. That's like $6 a month, something like that. So that's $72 if you were just buying that. Take that out of the 98 and you're pretty far ahead. You get 10 cents off a gallon on gas. The average person buys 25 gallons of gas a month. So you're looking at about $30 between Paramount and your gas. You've already paid for your membership. Plus you get free shipping on anything you order. You get free delivery on your groceries for over $35. To get free delivery on groceries from Amazon Fresh, you have to order $150 worth of groceries, or they're going to charge you incrementally all the way up to, $150 is free. Well, we're two people. What do you think the odds are that we will ever spend $150 on groceries? Zero. I'll tell you right now. Odds are zero. So, Walmart Plus, much better off. What else do you get with the Walmart Plus? The free shipping. Now, the free shipping is a big deal. If you've shipped anything lately, shipping costs are expensive. And anything that you order from Walmart, if you have Walmart Plus, is free shipping. And if it's available in a store locally, they will put it in a bag, plastic bag, seal it down, and they put it in a box, and a driver who has got a route, and you're on his route, will take that bag and put it on your doorstep for free. So if you are ordering food that is not perishable, as in no dairy, no meat, no fruits, no vegetables. If you're ordering chips, candy, canned foods, dried foods, those can all be shipped. If you pick ship for those, if they are available locally, they will ship them from a store via Eddie, the driver, and Eddie will deliver them to your doorstep, still free. If you order them with your food, they count towards your $35. Oh, plus you get discounts that aren't available to the general public. They're only for Walmart Plus members. And you get rebates and all kinds of stuff. It pays for itself. And we have saved over $200 in the 10 months so far. We need to renew in August. I don't know what date in August, but it's absolutely worth $98. It pays for itself. When you don't feel like driving to the store, when it's too hot, it's too cold, it's too rainy, it's too whatever, they'll still deliver. Neither one of us felt like going to the store. We needed milk. We made a $35, turned out to be a $50 order, but we got stuff that we needed, stuff that we wanted. And
let's also explain. It's 100 degrees here in Austin, and our vehicle does not have air conditioning.
Yeah.
And so, for me to want to go to the grocery store,
you'd have to leave at 6 o'clock in the morning when it's only 80 degrees.
You just, yeah.
And so, who thought that we would think that 80 degrees was a comfortable temperature? Oh, it's only 80 degrees. Let's go shopping. No, it's still
no, but we still
degrees.
do. We go, oh, let's go now. Now it's good.
If you gotta go, you gotta go. You know, kind of like if you gotta go, you gotta go.
So anyway,
but
if you're interested, the link will be below. It'll say Walmart Plus, and if you use that link,
you will get $20 off your first order.
You have to actually sign up for the Walmart Plus. Then if you do sign up for it, it'll give you $20 off of your first order, and then we will get a $20 coupon or whatever for our next order. So you guys do not have to use this. This is not an attempt on us. Just saying, we're not doing this to get that $20. Now, don't get me wrong. I would not turn down free groceries. That's not ever going to happen. But
now, what if it was the on the border beans?
Y'all, we need to talk about on the border bean dip.
Well, we started something there.
I love Frito-Lay jalapeno bean dip. I know that it's probably not the best food for you, but it is one of my favorite guilty pleasures. Probably my most favorite guilty pleasure is Frito-Lay jalapeno bean dip. Well, it ended up being like 20 cents more than on the border.
No.
It was.
No. The size of containers, the per ounce cost was twice.
Anyways,
So, but if it's
total
not,
cost,
if it's not
total
any
cost
good,
from one to the other, it was 20 cents cheaper for the container of the on the border versus the. So I'm like, okay, get one container of the on the border and one container of Frito-Lay, because I still wanted one container of what I know is my happiness and joy.
I come in a can.
You're funny.
I love you.
And so, I get it. And then, because I know you try the unknown first so you can savor the good stuff afterwards if it's bad.
If it's bad.
And so I opened up this bean dip, and it was as watery as salsa. That's first. So I think, okay, it must have somehow separated. So the bottom must be really, really dried out. So I need to use a fork to mix it up. You know, like when you get the good peanut butter and the oil's kind of on the top because it's settled a little bit, so you need to mix that oil back in with the peanuts. No. It's just runny ass bean dip. And it has almost no flavor. Like, there's no seasoning.
Words cannot describe how much she is not happy with the on the border, over the border, or whatever the border.
I do not like cabbage. I do not. You can ask anybody that has known me for any amount of time. This girl does not like cabbage. I don't like it raw. I don't like it cooked. I don't like it fried, baked. I don't care what you do to cabbage. I do not want to eat it. I was wishing I was eating cabbage. It was so not good. Anyway, so unless you like bland food, if you like bland and you don't, by all means on the border. But if you want any kind of flavor, just skip it. Just skip it. Go get the Tostitos or the I just said it a little while ago and can't.
Frito-Lay.
Frito-Lay. Get the Frito-Lay bean dip with the jalapenos. It's better.
Now, back to the Walmart Plus. You don't have to do a year off from that link. You can do a monthly. And I believe you can even do a trial for free and see if you like it. So it's not like I'm asking you to commit to $100. The cheapest.
We're not asking them to do anything. We're just offering it as, hey, be aware.
The most economical route to go is the $100 way. But you can go whatever way you want or not. So I'm just trying to give you the chance to save money because right now, everybody needs to save money. Seems like everybody wants to take it and nobody wants to give it. But
truth.
I think that covers. Oh, Star Trek.
Yeah.
Strange New Worlds had a new episode that we got to watch yesterday. And she liked it a lot more than I liked it. I liked it at the end. It stressed not being willing to give up your memories just to lose the pain of knowing what you've lost, because your memories are more than just pain.
But see, that's not all I got out of it. I also thought that the show showed how people were even on the inside. When the pilot, how even when she forgot who she was and what she was and how to, even forgot her own name, she was still herself. She was still fierce, and she was still, I don't know how to explain that. And I just thought that was cool.
Yeah. But their whole thing was, to me, it was a tad bit goofy. It said that it was going in and doing degradation to the brain. If there's something, radiation is causing degradation in your brain, the absence of radiation isn't going to make your brain spontaneously fix everything. It's just going to quit degrading. So,
no, but if it was blocking some part of your brain from reaching your memories, then once it's not blocking, maybe it should. But again, since when has TV actually followed true science? Just saying.
Yeah, just saying. Yeah.
Anyway,
I think that is enough of a happiness and joy from us for today. I'm not feeling my best, and I'm
want to thank you guys for watching and taking the time And we hope that you have a great week.
I hope you all come and have a cup of coffee, or cup of tea, cup of cola, cup of beer.
7 and 8 is 15, so July 15th, 1 o'clock. Eastern, noon Central, 6 p.m. British Standard Time. If you want to come hang out and have a cup.
If you have friends that you think would enjoy hanging out with us, invite them to come along too. Valerie will put the Zoom address in the bottom of this
Yep, it'll be
goofiness. And, oh, my 13-year-old granddaughter has taken up the yarny ways from her Nana. And she is crocheting now. And she told her mother that she wanted her allowance to be paid in yarn. If anybody ever doubted that this child came from Valerie's bloodline, that should answer the question right there. I'll take my allowance in yarn. And then we got to see a picture of her haul for her allowance. And she did good.
Yeah, they have a yarn festival that Gary's going to.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be like 10 minutes from her next month.
That would be cool if she could go.
I know. Even if not, I'm thinking next year, save up money, go see my grandkids, and take one of them to a yarn festival.
Yep. I love you.
I'm so bad.
You're so beautiful, you.
Anyway,
thanks for joining us. I hope you all have a splendid week. Stay healthy, stay happy, stay hydrated, stay out of the heat, and come back and see us again. And come see us next Saturday, or wait for the next video, and we'll tell you about all the people who did show up and how much fun we had, and how they talk trash on all you people that didn't show up. Because people are like that. They talk about the people that aren't there.
no,
we don't.
I don't. You might.
No, we both had enough experience with grandparents talking about the other grandkids that weren't there,
Oh, yeah.
and how screwed up they were and how mistakes they made. And
we had my grandparents, both sides, but my grandparents would talk smack on these grandkids, and they would talk about how amazing these grandkids were, and you never knew when you walked out the door which one you were
going to be when they were talking to the other grandkids.
Yeah, or to anyone else. Like, did we end up in the they ain't worth the shit pile?
That boy is dumber than dirt. Yeah. Oh, they must be talking about Ed.
But it's also
Ed's
how they
dumber than
talked about
dirt.
their kids. They talked about their kids in the same way.
So,
You never knew.
but we don't talk about anybody because we operate off from our little friend Hazel's advice.
We
Be
try.
kind.
I try to be kind.
And Valerie said that Hazel's doing so much better. So any of you folks that listen and actually care about our little friend Hazel, she's doing much better health-wise. So we are happy for Hazel, and happy for her mama. And did you find that link that I sent to you to send to them? John got into some poison ivy, and I found this thing, a video about a flower that usually grows in the same vicinity as poison ivy, that if you take the whole plant and grind it up and then rub it over what you just got poison ivy on, it neutralizes the oils from the poison ivy and keeps it from being as bad. So I sent that to you so you could send it to Aquila and share that with John.
I already tagged John on Facebook, and he already liked it.
So there you go,
done
John.
deal.
So next time you get into poison ivy, rub a flower on it. I don't know.
Oh, we didn't talk about threads.
Threads?
You don't know about threads yet? Okay, so Facebook owns Instagram. For those of you that did not know that Facebook owns Instagram, they own Instagram. And Facebook, Instagram, whatever, the company that owns them started a new platform called Threads. Now, Threads looks much like Twitter, but Twitter is owned by Elon Musk. And he's kind of made it a toxic wasteland.
He's alienating people because he's allowing horrible shit to be said and no repercussions for it. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, some of that, yeah. So, Threads came out, and I don't know who else is going to join it, but I have created a profile. It's Creations by Valerie, so that's what I am on Instagram, too. But I've really enjoyed it because, at least right now, I'm seeing all my favorite content makers and a lot of my friends, and none of the garbage. I'm sure that the garbage will probably find its way there, but I'm just grateful that I'm not inundated with the garbage over there. So, if you're looking for a non-garbage place, at least for now, it's nice. That's it.
That's it.
Have a great day.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Maybe he can reach
I
it.
love you,
I can't
Mama.
reach it.
Bye, Mama.